Testing. Alright, anyways, it's probably up. I feel like my voice sounds different right now for some reason. I also don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Ouch. Hello, the virus. I see you fixed your schedule. Very, very fixed. Indeed. What do I do? Oh, I see. Yeah, I've always liked colder. How do I say this? Like I am very weak to cold because I don't exercise enough. But cold is always so much better because like if it's hot, this like I literally cannot do anything. No sleep, no work, no focus, no nothing. I feel like the art is too clean. That's the thing. But regardless, there's also a distinct lack of direction. Those are a problem. Right, I need this out. Oh, oops. Well, since we do have some pngtuber going, I might as well turn it on. I gotta get used to turning it on too. pngtuber. Yes, what I call? It doesn't even have open recent, man. That's how sort of like bare bones this is. It's kind of insane how bare bones this is. Is it up? Yeah, it looks like it's up. Let's see. One. That's my other thing. Oh, it's just here. Oh wait, I don't want to move this. Let me move this other one. Guess they're gonna make it a little bit smaller. This is localized to individual areas. Oh, my head's completely empty right now. So, to some extent, I almost feel like keeping it in like a sketch form might actually be a good idea. Completely white on white. Sorry, black on white. And then it will be... Yeah, everybody is just like a sketch. Because I feel like I don't like what I'm seeing. And if I don't like it, I don't know if I want to necessarily keep pushing for it. Because it is taking a lot of time here. What's the table? Oh, it's here. to isolate it right now. Yeah, we definitely lost something in the sketch too, I feel like. Sorry, in the final line art. Got it backwards. Wait, why does it get so dark? Oh, I merged the layers today, I guess. So I have the option of keeping, okay. So I don't like how clean it got, and I don't like the colors, and I have no idea where to go for the colors. That's primarily the current problem. Problems, but so I could just keep going, but I don't know where I'm going. So it would just be kind of blind, right? I would just kind of push colors around and shapes around, or I could leave it in the original state and just be rough for now. And I feel like oh, that's not gonna fly, but things being incomplete, incomplete thematically also kind of makes sense. Not that we have to follow themes or anything, but I feel like it's completely fine if we don't. It does require a little bit of cleanup, perhaps. The colors are still a problem if I show the colors. What am I feeling here? What is the decision-making process here? Oh, it does upset. Huh. I'm blocking the names now. Whoops. Hello, George. I don't know if it reads or not. I also don't know how good of an idea this is. I just don't have any other ideas. Hello, show. You mean like the dude? It's supposed to be me here. I pet the it's based off of my VR chat avatar because I don't have anything else. In the past, I've made like a chibi version of it, of it. Yes, of it. For my Twitch, but I didn't really like that avatar, so I'm not gonna use it. Hang on a second. Oh, things are a little bit. Yeah, I don't know about this, cause like remember how small this is, right? Like this is gonna be like this size. I don't know if it's readable. You wouldn't really know what's happening. But anyways, this is a ongoing work in progress, I think, cause like Faye is not in here yet, so we have plenty of time. We have time to sort this out, I think. Yeah, it's so hard to read, right? Because it's not just small, it's also very broken up and trying to express with only lines. And I'm not good at the proportions and all that, anatomy in the first place. So there's a lot of things working against it right now. I think I think like the pajamas could be cute. It's just that if it doesn't read, it's not very good, I think. Regardless, so where the hell did my shirt go? There you go. I kind of want to write the word wolf here, but I also don't really want to write it. Oh, also it's like the wrong design actually. There's like this curve here for the color. It's meant to be more cute, right? But like the text was very blocky and very sci-fi, so it doesn't really work. It'd probably be better to do like something like this. Although it reads a bit weird because the W. It's kind of stupid though. The placement of it is kind of stupid. I think the idea can be fine, the placement is kind of stupid. Oh, we can just write wolf on the shirt. Never mind. This reference has a bunch of stuff like that. We'll do that now. Absolutely gonna be not readable though. Oh, it might be fine. Oh wait, this is completely behind the tablet. I keep forgetting I have a tablet. Yeah, it's probably not visible. Yeah, I think ongoing. I think we'll fix this some more in the future. Oh, what about the color? Yeah, sure. I think it's the first time I've brought it up on stream as well. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. Oh, oops. Kind of dubious. Anyways, I think I'm just gonna leave it like this for now. This is not a good fit, I think. Where's my OBS? Hard to say. I don't think it looks very good. I'm gonna maybe leave it for now, maybe just wait. I'm gonna do some tuning though on everything. This way things can be more together. And then I'll propagate the changes over to each individual respective groups. Yes. Looking on this. Not that. Maybe a bit strong. This is really strong. Making CSGO flashbang over here. Yeah, the bowl color, huh? Fair, I think. Fair assessment. I think we do it. Do what? How about this? Oh, how about this actually? Yeah, I would say so. I'll probably be using this for a while. And then as we get new characters brought in, I'll just bring more characters in. Like Faye is meant to be over here, right? I don't know if you were here like throughout the week. Faye is meant to be here, and she's threatening to pull the cable here, but she doesn't even have to pull the cable. She just needs to breathe on it, and then it would kind of disconnect. That's where we're at right now. But she got dropped because I kind of confirmed her post for now. She'll probably be added in a couple of weeks, actually, at this rate, because it does take a while for the thing to filter out. It's too strong. Why is there a shadow here? What is that? Oh, I guess this applies on it. Okay. Oh, yes, thank you, Joe. This halo is hard to do. In-game is entirely red. Well, not red. It's entirely orange and it glows. So it would be more like this. Oh, you know what? That works, actually. That isn't too bad. I thought it was going to be a little bit too hard to read, perhaps. In that case, can I flip this? Oh, looks like a disease or something. So maybe not. This guy needs kind of its own glow layers and stuff, because this thing in game glows, and then if I go into like a really dark world, it just starts lighting shit up. Not that strongly, but it kind of does. So if I glow dodge this and I just blur it a bit, I think it should be fine. The problem is the background Gaussian blur, I guess. It's got like a little bit, it's just kind of hard to read. Yeah, this is a lot stronger, but I don't know how this will look against our canvas here, but I guess we'll find out. Oh, I see. It loses its fidelity because of that. Nah, I'll just leave it for now. Alright, let's bring it in and see what it looks like for now. I wonder... Wait, hang on. Maybe I should make my face a little bit more pale. I do kind of want Rhea to take center... Well, the characters to take center Sage. Right now it would just be Rhea. But maybe I can desaturate my own stuff a little bit. Is this even doing anything? It looks very strong on my tablet, but it doesn't look that strong on the thing. Hello, Devay. Okay, now I look like a ghost. Because I have a halo. I'm wearing white. And I'm so pale. It's like one of those Japanese ghosts. Are designed. Thank you, Devay. I'll just do it like this for now. I don't really like the fact that it's blocking up so much stuff. Oh, this is a Chinese artist for sure. Holy shit. It's a pun on the type of food, I think it was. Watch me be wrong, by the way. Also, I cannot find any. I can't find anything. Why do I keep getting this politician looking guy? Entrepreneur and philanthropist. Should I just go on Twitter here? I do. Interesting. It doesn't even come up in the search. Why doesn't it come up? Dang, this guy has like top 1, 2, 3, 4 searches and some more. Dang, dude. Oh my god, there's something crazy going on the screen here. Hang on. Device dailies. Yes, there you go. Alright, I'm gonna send this as well. It looks kind of insane. Google is really foul. Yeah, like if... I mean, I get that the guy's name is really similar, right? But we're searching with the _X. Surely the ID takes precedence here because it's 100% match. I don't know who this is. Is this... I'm guessing they're really famous. I see the guy got really crashed out over something. I forgot. Okay, I'm not reading this. He crashed out. You're right. Okay. This is very animator-esque lines as well, though. Constant width, and then... Yeah, I vaguely remember. I mean, this is just really pog lines and construction. Really showing the intention with the outline here, separating the parts, keeping the seams and the minor details less prominent. Extra lines though. Not that it matters too much, I guess. Not animating here. I guess they just do a lot of sketches and stuff. It says Milky Subway at the top, by the way. Milky Subway. Well, I mean, it's just like really pog anatomy and just like sketches, I guess. Is it a gameplay? Oh, gameplay. Could the name get any more literal? This is or maybe that's not this is the name and that's Oh, so I have no idea what that is. Milky Subway. And the skipping of the lines here. Oh. Dang, I got so caught up by this lake here. This link here, I only just noticed the dragon, and then I saw the bigger dragon a little bit afterwards. My god. Media literacy. Fucking Germa. Oh. I was gonna say, you're gonna see this with Chinese artists. So, like, I think you guys are probably familiar with the Japanese term for sketches, like Rakugaki, RKGK. That literally means graffiti, which is just like, you know, for them it's used in the form of a sketch. If you directly translate, it's more closer to graffiti. But regardless, the Chinese equivalent is not like about sketching or anything. This kanji here literally means like to touch. I don't know, like, if there's a good yeah, like a gently touch with hand, like gently touch. What they will do is they will type this instead. And now this page is gonna be entirely it's gonna be entirely Mandarin. But like, so what you have here is in Chinese there's a lot of four-word proverbs. So in English you have your what's that called? Your similes, your proverbs, your like miscellaneous. I forgot what the other ones are called, right? But you have these established phrases. Sorry, Show. I don't have any planned at the moment. I don't think I'll be doing anything in the near future, I would say. But yes, going back to this. So Chinese have those like four-word proverbs, and I think Japanese has them as well, to some extent. Anyway, some translated versions. But this one specifically just means to slack off, essentially, is what it is. I don't exactly know where this came about, right? I learned this as just as is, and my understanding is to just to slack off, but the technical definition might be a little bit different. I think probably like between, you know, what it's supposed to be and what I was taught and what I see it being used in real life, there's a huge gap. So it appears like you're trying to sort of win an advantage in a chaotic situation kind of thing. But like for me, it just means to slack off. And I think for most of them, they shorten it basically to just to touch fish. So touch fish just means to slack off and to just like it literally says that this. Let me just translate the page actually. It'd be easier than translating each word manually here. Just to show that I'm not talking out of my ass here, but where's the translate button, bro? Oh, this is not Google. Dang it, dude. You see, it's literally touching fish. Anyway, French, get out of here. Fucking French, dude. Google. So it came from this, and it just means being lazy. And you can see how it gets even lazier because this person literally only types one character. So if you guys ever see like, where is it? Like these two? I'm gonna send it actually. Hang on. I'm just gonna send it bit by bit here. If you ever see that, it just means the guy is slacking off. In the context of text, it means that they're sketching something that is not too serious, or they're like slacking off from work and they're drawing their own thing, right? It might not necessarily be really rough, right? It just means they're not doing what they're supposed to and they're doing this instead. In this case, it means to just do a quick sketch and slack, I guess. I don't know what their work is, but you'll see this a lot. A layer breakdown of a process I'm trying to replicate. What artist? Show. I can take a quick look after I sort out my stupid like what's that thing called? pngtuber situation. Anyways, it's a big detour. Thank you for your contributions, Duvet. So what was the animation I was looking at? What is this? Oh, I know who that is, I think. I've seen that art before. It's a really wait, hang on. Let me just be sure. Okay, it's probably not who I was thinking. Someone else's name is very similar. Oh, you wanna figure it? Don't they have this breakdown? You wanna just understand what's happening with this? Like, do you have a specific piece here? Python course? Are we programming? What does Python course mean? Surely one of these terms are not translated correctly. Let's try. I can't click. Oh my god. My table is way too cramped, dude. Every time I move my hand, it's just bouncing. Oh, as in Python. Oh, I see. It's the character's name. There's also. Oh, I see. There's also a course with the character. Ah, okay. I was wondering, like, because the English translated Python, that is quite egregious because unless, anyways, I'm not gonna go too deep into this, but yeah, if you want to send me a link, I can take a look. I guess the rough stage. So I guess we don't really care about the rough stage. Like the ideation stage is not really our problem. We only care about the layer splits, right? It looks like base layer. The alpha, some adjustments to bring the shadows, bring in some mood in the front. Some more refinement, I guess. This is probably picking the darker colors and then pushing it in already. The lines are very clean. The shapes are nothing too weird, right? We're not talking a lot of weird textures or anything. I sense a little bit of noise, but I'm not sure if it's my screen. It's painted on a separate layer. These things, yeah, like the colors come in. I don't know how to justify that at all. I don't know how to think about it either. Yeah. It's, how do I say this? Like, if we just look at this, we can follow step by step. But then the specific layer modes and why they do it, I cannot really guess. I think this is mostly just to set mood, bring out the colors. Oh, the rendering technique, huh? This looks like a giant adjustment layer on top. This looks like the one that we saw by the other... Oh man, there's no way to find this easily, but... I'm sure it's in here somewhere. The one that teaches you how to do the brightness thing. Yeah, this one. Oh my god. No way I just found it. Hang on. Yeah, no way I just found it. Hang on. Give me a second. So this one here was made by a Korean artist, right? So I don't know if like Koreans really like this or something. But if you look at the effect of this, is that you have something that has a lot of value contrast. And it just kicks it up a notch and brings everything into the bright region. Of course, the magnitude and the amplitude of the effect is up for you to control here. But it's kind of reminiscent of what's happening over here. But it's not exactly the same, I don't think. But yeah, you can check that thing out. Although it is in Korean, you might have to send it into AI or something to get it to translate. Because I can't read it either. I kind of forgot what it was. Because I think the consensus amongst everyone else was that it didn't look that great. It's just a bit of a gimmick. Let me see. Yeah, sure. I mean, like, we could give this a shot. I can see what's happening, I guess. But, like, I don't know how helpful it would be. Because a lot of this is... Like, the bigger problem is not really how the layers are split and how the brushwork is done. Because there isn't too much of that. With this breakdown here, you can kind of see the layer breakdown already. Right? You have the line art layer, you have the base colors for each one. You have the bright and dark for each one. And then the adjustments layers start coming in. At this point here, there might be different ways of doing things, especially... depending on the how okay you are with like 10 bajillion layers. Like I have 10 bajillion layers, so I would do it the 10 bajillion layers way. But we can also do it the Pyotegu way, where it's like everything on the same layer, and you have selection masks. But beyond that, it's just like a bunch of painting and stuff. I think the bigger problem with this style is primarily like the way they get the colors in. Like, I see what colors to get in, rather. I can give this a try in a bit. I think I'm gonna go wrap up my nonsense. That's a lot of these. Actually, these are really good. I should come back and copy some of these because this is pretty good. I'll hold on to this for now. Oh, I see. Interesting. Oh, in that case, let me take a quick look at their not study account. Oh, it's did I just dupe this? No. Did I just dupe it? No. Ah, yes, the main account has photos and food, of course. This is relevant, I suppose. Dang, dude. Dang, I kind of forgot like what value I used to provide. I don't really get it anymore because I'm looking at this and I see that the lines are really clean, right? Because the moment lines become really clean, the process becomes just like a very simple process of copying shapes then, if we're just doing a study. Because you have the line entirely on one layer and it's separate from everything else. You don't have to care about it anymore. And then one base layer for that, and then you just start breaking the different shapes onto its own layers. And they just keep adding on layers until it looks detailed enough. I don't feel like I can teach a lot, but I don't mind doing for sure, yeah. I don't feel like, yeah, there's a lot to discover here. But maybe that's what you would like to see anyways. Because, yeah, I mean, that's how it is for me in the beginning, where some things you just kind of want to see it done once, and then all of a sudden it becomes like, oh yeah, that makes a lot more sense. That's chromatic aberration. Yeah, after that it just starts coughing. Anyways, I'm gonna just quickly wrap this up real quick. So the bottom there is not going to be flat anymore. We're missing a tail actually. Whoa. Explode. Yeah, that thing is a bit too much. Where's my halo? Hello? Okay. Brand new. Brand new. The two pieces he posted, like the two dudes, right? Sorry, what? Am I blind? How do I... What? Did I walk past it? Oh, it's here. I mean, the soft look is just the final adjustments, I think, right? It's got the it's just lowering the value contrast to get that soft look. I think maybe I can start here and just try to figure out what is happening on this one. This is like the biggest jump, I would say. Compositing. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out exactly what is it that you want to see, because I'm trying to basically figure out what exactly makes it like you described this as soft, right? So but yes, anyways, wait a second. I don't even have to separate the two of us right now. Somehow. I guess I'll just be remaking this every time. Like, I don't even care. This is only like 3 layers. Somehow. Okay. Did the pen even change? Yeah. Does this break the thing? Oh, it does. It's probably gonna... You guys are gonna see dupes, right? Yeah. These, what are these? So how do I do this, actually? I don't know how to change this. Alright, how about just bring in the one file? Import? Delete. What? How do you delete stuff in this thing? Delete? No, delete key doesn't work either. What? Can I not delete multiple at once? Oh, I cannot. I see. Right, hang on. Where did my pen go? Z order. Z order 1. Oh, shit. Okay, Z order 2. This guy is 1. This guy is 3. Oh, yeah. Big brain. Okay. It feels like it's not moving all the way for some reason. Hello, George. Yes, we have cola. I guess this is it, right? I mean, I don't want the table here, so I nuked it. Let's look like this now. How big is it? Oh my god, rendering is absolute dog shit, but... What am I painting? Okay, I guess we make a new one now. It's been a while since I made a new one. Let me make a new one real quick. Yeah. She would probably be the kind that, I mean, she's kind of empty, right? So, like, the movements and stuff like that tends to be a little bit more, I think, on the rougher side. Although I'm not really sure, actually. Because given the scene shows that she is showing interest. Okay. Everybody chill out. This is all gonna go delete. Okay. Potatoes. Where? Where is it? Here. Wow, huge. I'm just curious because I feel like so the rough stage, line art, base color, and then base color adjustment. I think up to here is still really straightforward, right? Because you guys have seen me do like multiple layers and all that many times by now. And then this, it's just like a gradient on the entire thing. It doesn't seem to affect the white parts, so it's just selectively added onto the darker shadows for just these two specific areas, and also just the armor and the gloves, I guess. Right? This is the same blue, right? Between the two? Yeah, it's the same blue here. So up to there is pretty straightforward. This point here, there's just a little bit of color picking and painting. And then there's the coloring. Like this part here, I don't know what's happening yet. Well, we can always make it work though, is the problem. We can always just do something to get the color in. But I don't know under like what kind of ideas they have for putting the color in the first place. That part I can never I can't do much about. I'm trying to see. So this oh, we took it out. A lot of back and forth, I imagine then. Well, not that much. The blue. Like the shapes are preserved, so I can only imagine they're just airbrushing some kind of putting some kind of adjustment layer onto the shadow part. That means up till this point, they're still rendering it on two separate layers for the light and then for the shadow. Like the shadow area, like these things, painted in onto the shadow part with the shadow part locked so that the shape doesn't change. Yeah, but then we said it would be easy. This part is the one that will require some experimentation, I think. So I'm starting here because say if I take this, right? If this is the final drawn image here, what can I do to this to make it look like that? How do I even do this? Actually? I'm just gonna do it like this. All right. Well, actually, no, that doesn't really work very well. Let's do this. What? Oh, it's a selection too. Roski. This is the one we want. This is where we want to be. Ideas right now. I would guess like a flat screen is not gonna work because the colors don't look like they're affected by the same color. Or maybe it is. I'm not sure. Is this just a screen? Is it actually just a screen? No, but like the fingers are a lot colder. You see mine has a lot colder fingers. Like the blue parts are kind of just this flat screen, it looks like, because the bottom looks pretty similar. But the armor piece and everything else, no. In which case, then it's not a flat screen then. Then it probably is like, what if I just put the layer on itself here? So it's too exponential if I do it like this, I see. I don't know if that's the right word to describe it, but... What if it is screen, but we need it to be lower in color and lower in contrast, perhaps? 76%. The lower contrast upset. Let's see if that works. Kind of works. It lacks a bit of vibrance. No. It's kind of hard to say. Maybe they painted some more colors in. It looks the same though, right? Like the shapes and stuff. We're losing that blue there. But like that's such a sort of specific area. And you can see like they did draw some additional green lines and stuff. So there might be a separate set of adjustments. Overall, it's kind of brought closer to where it needs to be, it looks like. Then after that, at this point, I suppose you can do like, because those are darker, could be added in, could be not, but like could also be removed from this layer. So this doesn't work. Yeah, I mean it's outright missing some colors. It's missing the green from like this the shoulder thing, the collar. It's missing the orange and red from the face. Right? And it's missing all these vibrant colors being added to the hair. Those things we cannot do anything except paint those in. But the overall adjustment is kind of in the right direction. The blue is probably brought up separately then. This blue might be on a separate layer somewhere. So after the overall adjustment, they could possibly just push those tones up and only those tones up. So it's a screen. I mean, it could be done in many, many ways, right? It's just what you want out of this. Anyways, Show, is there a specific, if you're still here, is there a specific area where you're stuck at? Have you tried this before? Like, because they did do a breakdown here, so... I'm wondering if you have tried something already. Not really the shapes here. I mean, it's just a paint over, is it not? It's just painting done on top. But at this stage, oh well, it's because we know we're ending. But then even then, yeah, no, it would be easier if we paint on top. Yeah, it would make sense. What about the rest, though? What is the difference here? Did they just remove the screen? I don't think so. To some extent, perhaps. Maybe they just lowered it? What is the difference? This and this. The area here is darker. But if I do that, it's way too dark. It's too dark. Can I not just do this then? But it's making it too cold. I mean, there's no better way to do it than to just go to those parts and then separately adjust them. If you want that. Onto the main. Yeah, I don't know. If show's not here, I'm not really sure because but I don't know how to you're back, Show? Yeah, I don't know exactly what's the best way to provide value here because I feel like with the okay, so I think here's the thing, right? From my point of view, given the current breakdown of layers and given what I have tried before and all the other nonsense that I've been doing. No, it's fine, Show. Don't worry about it. This looks pretty straightforward in the sense that, like, I don't really understand why some of the choices for colors were made. But if you present this to me, I know how to do it, right? Like, I think I know how to do it. But the problem is, like, I don't know at which stage you are stuck at, I guess. Like, if you give this a try, right? Like, which is the part that you kind of got stuck at? Or because, like, your original request is more of related to the style, in like in the sense that like the style is a very soft style and you find it visually aesthetically pleasing to look at. That would be a slightly different breakdown, I think, compared to like doing this one specific piece specifically, because I think if it's like a style thing, then it's more related to just the overall color choices and maybe the shapes that were being painted and the edges, I guess. It'll be more along those lines rather than this specific one. No, but you can use this specific one to illustrate those points. How about this? I think I'm just not sure what you would like me to do. Like, what is a specific thing you would like me to do? You want to just see everything broken down into separate layers, or you want to... You want to like see how I did the adjustment here, which is this nonsense here. This is like 76, I think it was closer. 70? 60, 69, maybe 69 is closer. Yeah, I think I'm kind of confused as to the like a big part of why I didn't keep making those YouTube videos is because I realized that when I did my studies, they were not very useful in the sense that all I was doing was just copying and pasting what I already can see. I didn't understand the decisions being made, regardless. Um, right, you have a line art and base like the one they have second step. Okay. Rendering style to your own. So, well, can you do the third step then? Like, are you capable of doing the third step here? I think the problem is that I can't really tell you why they made certain choices. Because this rendering style, right, in your exact words, this rendering style composed of a lot of different decisions being made. Um, hello, Seely. And a big part of the style is the colors that they have chosen to use. And the problem with that is that I cannot tell you why they have chosen it. They can feel, from my point of view, right, from what I think is happening is that they just like the colors. So they're constantly tweaking the colors until they like it. And that's how they arrive at this thing. There isn't necessarily a set of very strict rules that they're following. And even if there were, I won't be able to reverse engineer it from here. But what you could do is you can kind of take a look at the colors that they have used in the final version. Like for example, you can come here and you can just pick some colors. And then you can just kind of paint out a swatch, right? You can just create a swatch for yourself. And try to pay attention to the kind of colors relationship. So for example, if you put this down here like this, you can see this gradient in the hair, right? And then you have these accent colors. They're like this blue, this cyan over here. I think that's pretty much it, actually. Then you can move your mouse across, and you can see how the dots move across the triangle here for me, right? So you can see it's kind of moving in this linear direction, and it's kind of sliding only a little bit. Then if you're trying to use a different character, do a different character, maybe you can keep that relationship of just sliding and then traveling linearly like this. And you can come up with like a different palette here. And you can see if this palette works for you or not, you know, something like this. You can try something like this. Orange kind of like they have in the other piece. I thought multiply layer first, but the base color highlight look different. Sorry, the third step, as in what? Like, I'm assuming this is 1. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? So third step. You want to figure out the shadows here? Let me bring the other one in here. Yeah, I'm putting up. Huh? Big. Giant is triangle, circle. This one here. So you're saying that orange kind of like the half in the other piece. I thought it was simply multiply layer, but the base color in the higher areas look different. So base color in the highlight areas, what does that mean? Because this is base color. Oh, you're talking about this part being different from this color here? Like, I mean, like, multiply layer is just one way of putting the colors in, right? You don't have to use multiply layer if it doesn't work entirely. And even if you did use multiply layer, you can still change the base color again, and so on and so forth. Like, I think... So this is the thing that I was having before. Like, this problem that I had before is that I feel like the way that the layers are set up is, like, super duper important. Because, you know, to some extent, the setup here is what gets the artist to the final location, right? But the important thing here isn't necessarily how they put in the colors. It's not that they use multiply or they use any other sort of layer mode. It is that they know what colors they want. And then, like, what happens after that is up to you, how you put the colors in. You could have put the colors in without multiply too, if you knew what you wanted. That's why I think it's probably more beneficial for you to study the relationship of the colors rather than to figure out necessarily that, oh, this must be a multiply layer, if you know what I'm saying. Because let's say I were to work on this, right? For example, I'm just gonna yank this. Yeah, okay, mine's gonna be a bit of a mess because I don't have the clipping masks out. But let's say I'm like you, like I'm gonna use a multiply layer here to try and put this thing in. This kind of similar color, kind of. Let's see. I'm just gonna block everything real quick. Like that, right? And you're saying basically like all these reds and stuff, like they look a lot more orange than this, and that's the problem. Right. Even the yellow here is kind of different and so on and so forth. But then like there's multiple ways to do this. So multiply, let me think about the layer structure here. If everybody's on their own base layers, the multiply layer, it depends if it's the Piotagu setup or if it's my usual setup. But either way, you can basically... I mean, you're just gonna have to go in and paint it. Like, there's no two ways about it. I'm just trying to figure out if there's a more structured way to do this, but I'm still just gonna go in and paint it. For example, I'm just gonna... What is it selecting? What? Did it select the entire thing? What? Why did it select the entire thing? Okay, anyways, I'm having difficulties with... Oh, wait, hang on. Tolerance? I need more tolerance. I see, there's noise in the image here. So I cannot select this properly. Oh, shit. Now it's grabbing everything. Okay. So I'm assuming at some point, right, they have a separate layer for the reds, you know, as a base color. So let's say this is the separate layer for the reds of the base color. You can just go onto that layer and just change some of the parts afterwards. I think I get what you're saying, right? Because you would like something that's super clean. Hang on, what is wrong with this? Oh, no, that doesn't make sense. Why does it let me paint? Oh no, because I never put any paint down because it was always locked, I think. What? Yeah, like hello. Potato here. What is happening? Right, and then I'm just going to disable this. I'm going to lock this. This is now locked. This is here now. And then I can do my orange. What is this orange? It's right here. Dang it. Anyways, I'm just going to adjust it into place here. Something like that. I think it doesn't feel very good, right? So for example, if I remove the multiply layer, it doesn't feel very good that this base color kind of has two colors now. Of course, this orange, right, could have been on a separate layer on top. But even then, you will still have this situation where this edge, right, this edge between the light and the shadow will be defined on two separate layers. Because there's one for the light part, and then there'll be one for the shadow and stuff like that. And that feels kind of wrong to me in the past. Because the concern was to have a really clean and efficient setup for the thing, for like the painting that's coming up ahead. Because like, say for example, if you want to change the shape of the light and shadow, now you have to change it on both layers. So I get what you're saying. Maybe we can figure something out that's a bit more efficient than this. But I think in situations like that, right, like I would just ignore stuff like multiply layer and stuff like that entirely. You can use multiply layer, for example, like right now, right? So I have... Okay, let me start from the beginning. We have the flag colors, right? We have the flag colors. Now, I want to use the multiply to put in a shadow. I can put in the shadow like this, right? But then now I'm like, yeah, let me make the reds a little bit more orangey, a little bit brighter in the light. But I don't want to have two separate layers dealing with the same edge. Then what I could do is I'm just going to multiply... I'm going to duplicate my multiply layer here. And then suppose like, okay, I need to reset this a little bit. Give me a second here. So this is, let's say, the base layer for the reds, right? So if I take out everything here, including this other dude. Okay, let's bring these guys up. So if I take out everything here, I just have a set of layer for red, right? This is what I will probably set up, you know, if I'm painting. I have one base layer for the reds. So that's going to be on there. And then now I have to multiply on the entire image here. Where is it? Right, I'm tuning the colors of the entire image at the same time because it's easier to get things more coherent and stuff like that. Makes sense, right? But then now I want to make sure that on this red layer I want to do something else. I want to have a different color for the base, for the parts in the light, right? I could technically just simply change the base layers colors, because you would think the base layer's colors that's not in the shadow will be in the light. But because this changes the color underneath the multiply layer, it will change everything together. So now I cannot do that. I can only touch the other part. Then what I could also do is I'm just going to duplicate this multiply layer. Right, now it only applies here. So how should I do this? I'm going to... Oh, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to change the base layer to be the multiply layer color. Because I know this is the color for the shadow now. I know this is what I want. Right? If you apply this again, it's a lot darker now than before. But what I could do now is I can just grab this light. Select the multiply before, right? So this is the multiply layer before. I can select it, I can invert it. And then I can clamp on a new layer on top just for the bright stuff. So now for the red parts, you essentially have a layer for the light and a layer for the shadow, which is the base color. Your base color has been changed to the color for the shadow. And then your color in the light is over here. You have two layers to work off of, which seems to be what they're working off of. And then you just repeat the process for all the other parts. So going back to the other parts, right? So for example, let's say the hair and all the body and all that. What is it selecting right now? Is it selecting the right stuff? Okay, it selected the skin as well. Okay, it's kind of a problem. Yeah, I don't have a good... Alright, there you go. What? Oh, it's only selecting on the active layer, right? Yeah, it's gonna look a little bit weird because I don't have the thing set up cleanly, but at the very least we have something perhaps similar like this. So I can duplicate all of these guys. No, I don't have to duplicate anything. I'm just gonna grab the color. So this is the red. This is the hair. This is the skin. Grab color for skin. I'm gonna block the skin down. Grab color for hair. I'm gonna block the hair down. And I don't need this anymore. And then I can separately grab out the hair color that I want. Select this. Invert. New layer. New layer. Merge. And then skin. So now I kind of have like 3 sets of layers. I have one for the reds, one for the hair, and then one for the skin. And then you can just carry on painting from here. This looks like crap because of the selection stuff, but then you will have the 2 colors that you want, and you have a clean set of layers to work off of. Now you can basically tune the colors, get it to what you want, and then split it into the light and shadow layers. So you have 2 for each. I think that's what I would do. And then now you have the ability to control individual parts separately. And you can tune them a little bit more separately. Because like the skin's shadow is slightly different. Now I can tune the skin's shadow by itself. This part is a little bit different. I can tune it by itself. Hair looks fine. I mean, I'm just off by colors from the beginning, but... does this make sense? This is what I would do it. The way that I would do it. If I want to study this. And then of course for the coats and stuff, you would just keep doing the breakdown. As per before. Finally it would be this, right? Hello? What? Stupid thing, it doesn't work properly. Anyways, Joe, I don't know how you feel about this way of working. Right. So what is the problem that you're facing right now, right? You have a set of base colors and you put a multiply layer on, and you're seeing the colors that you have being different from what they have, right? That is the problem that you're facing. But is your expectation to be able to get all the colors you want with one layer? Like with just the addition of one layer? Because like it's not gonna be that simple, right? Different parts have different colors. They react differently because they have different materials and stuff. So like one layer was never really gonna make the cut anyways. So you're gonna have to add in a bunch of different layers. I was just showing like my way of adding a bunch of different layers. But you can do it your own way as well. Does that make sense? That's the thing. That's why I'm saying. Like, so the important thing here isn't the layering setup, right? It's not about the multiply. It's not about that. It's about knowing what colors you want. And if I don't know if you've realized, but that's the same problem that I'm struggling with every day. The problem is that you don't really know what colors you want. When you look at someone else's pieces, it looks very nice. It looks very cohesive. But then, like, when it comes to it, when it comes to your own piece, you have to choose your own colors. It becomes all of a sudden very hard to find something that works well. And with regards to that, there's not really much to it. You just have to study a lot. Like, for example, if you like this artist's colors, right? If you like these colors at the end, then do a study of this piece. Let's look at the relationship of the colors. That's the thing that I was talking about with the circles before. Where's my stupid mouse? Tiny. Right, colors look good because they have a certain relationship to to it. But to just be able to understand it by looking is really hard. You have to kind of try putting some colors on canvas and then see what the relationship is. So for example, right, you say you like the colors, well, maybe you didn't say you like it, but let's say we look at just the ones on the reds, right? Just the red color here. You have the part that's in the light. Right, this part here is in the light, and then you have the part that's in the shadow, and then you have the darker stuff, and then you have the slightly lighter stuff as it fades out. You can get a feel for what colors they're using by looking at this relationship here. Maybe you want to put it in the correct order here. Well, not necessarily a correct order, but just a way a cleaner way to look at it. So it'd be like this, perhaps. So if you look at how the colors move, it's making like some kind of a C shape, and then like the hue also shifts, and so on and so forth. You can do it like this to get a feel for like what kind of movement the colors are doing. Say if we do a different part, maybe we can spot something similar, or maybe we can spot something different. I'm trying to set this up, by the way, in a way where it's more value, like, so the brighter value into the darker values. So this one is a bit more linear. It kind of like zigzags a bit here, and so on and so forth. This is one way of doing it. You can just pick color, put it down onto a thing, and then just like pick the color and see what it's doing, right? And then let's say, for example, this one, I want it to be blue now because my character is blue. Why don't I just move this over and see how it feels, you know? I see that this is kind of doing the C shape over here. I can try to do the C shape over here now. I can try to pick my own colors now. So I'm not picking from anyone, I'm just picking my own colors. And now you have a new set of colors. And then you can take this new set of colors and then you can try to paint with it, and then you can see how you feel about that. But the thing to remember is that because the colors, they don't share the same values, right? The same saturation of blue is a lot darker than the same saturation of yellow. So these things, you can't exactly just pick and choose like this and be 100% done. It's not going to work like that. You will have to do a lot of trial and error. So that's why like this method isn't necessarily so good. You might want to just maybe do like a color study of this and try to pick it out by eye, because rather than relying on the math of the movement, right? Because this is a very mathematical way of looking at it. You're just looking at the changes in basically the numerical values, which is what describes this movement here. You can try to be more perception based, right? Because humans work off of perception. So now why don't you try to... So I just picked the color there. You're not supposed to do that. But let's say like I want to do a color study of this. I'm looking at the hair, right? I'm like, okay, maybe it's really bright like this. Then I'm looking at like the thing there. I don't know where it is. Maybe it's like somewhere here. Maybe it's a bit brighter, you know, stuff like that. And then you just slowly try to work your way down this chain as well. So rather than picking it directly, you're just trying to perceive it and you're trying to put it down. And you're trying to see if you can get close to it. And as you're picking and choosing colors, you also notice your own bias. You see whether if you're able to pick up certain colors or not. Maybe you're really good at reds, but you're not very good at blues, and so on and so forth. You learn some adjacent things, but the important thing is that you're getting used to sort of understanding this intuitively. You're looking at a piece of art, and then you're feeling it, and then you're translating it into something else, onto a separate canvas. And it helps you build that idea. So the next time, hopefully with enough experience, the next time you arrive at a situation like this, you inherently kind of know that, hey, if the red becomes this really bright orange yellow, it will look very good, because you have tried it and done it before. So the answer to the question that, you know, how do you know what color to use, is because they have done it before. I think most likely they have tried a bunch of stuff and they just know that this is what they like. That one I can't really help. I can't really help you do too much. Like, it's just up to you to put in the hours, I think. Yes, well, it depends on how you would like to work. I still feel like even if there's a bunch of overlays and a bunch of layer effects on there, it doesn't matter too much, right? Because you're starting off with a base set of colors, and you're trying to arrive at the final result, right? Maybe the artists that you're looking at, they got there with a lot of multiplied layers, they got there with a lot of overlay layers, but you don't have to do that either. You don't have to follow the same method, right? You can just put in the colors directly, and you will still be able to get to the final result, as long as you know what colors you want. Like, the method there does change the style a little bit, because depending on how you layer the thing, how you layer your colors, and what kind of layer mode they are, it affects the way that you might be able to paint, right? If you have all of the colors on the same layer, it would tend to be a lot more painterly, because you're mixing colors and you're blending colors. But if you're on separate layers, like what this artist seems to be doing, you get cleaner cell shading shapes, you get cleaner edges, you get cleaner this and that, and your color adjustments are more localized to specific shapes of colors. But at the end of the day, like, it doesn't matter that much, because the process can be refined as long as you know what you want at the end, right? You can have everything on the same layer and still arrive at the same solution if you're willing to spend the time to clean up the edges at the end too, right? So I would say like the layers and stuff, I think it would affect your style, it would affect your workflow and stuff like that, but I think it's not that critical at the end of the day. In the past, I think that it is the absolute most important thing. That's why my studies in the past was so focused on breaking it into the specific layers. But I honestly think that was a bit of a waste of time. Like it helped me a lot in certain areas, right? Now I look at things and I see things in the different layers immediately because I keep doing it in the past. But at the same time, after all these years of struggle, I am still struggling with colors because I never really did it the more intuitive way. I never really tried to do like more color studies, right? Because mine was always a copy and paste and was about the quote unquote process and setup behind it, which I see now is not necessarily that helpful. Is my current opinion. Anyways. Yes, exactly what the virus said, I would say. You understand what kind of color and result you want, right? But either by finding a reference or having an image in your head. Even if you find a reference, you might not know what exactly is happening. Do a color study of it first then, right? Now you get a better idea of what the color relationship is. Because in doing the color study, you'll be surprised, right? Sometimes you pick a color that you think is the same thing, but when you put it down on canvas, you realize it's not. Now you start to get an intuitive understanding of what you're looking at. And then once you have an idea of what you want, how you get there is entirely up to you then. At that moment, you will realize that it doesn't matter. You can use multiply layers, you can use difference layer too if you want to. And you can still get the same result. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if this makes sense. If you, like right now, I feel like your original question was more of just like a multiply layer, but the highlight layers look different. I would say to that question, it's just basically that's how it's going to be. Different colors react slightly differently to the same lighting, I would say. You have different materials, you have different base colors and math and interactions. So adding one multiply layer was never going to cut it in the first place, right? You're always going to be doing a bunch of different colors on different layers. And then the next question would then therefore be what is the more sort of comfortable way for you to do it? For me, is splitting all the base parts into separate parts and having a light and shadow layer for each one. That gives me a lot of flexibility. Did you try to add why they pick those colors and why they work together? Yes, I think in general, yes. I think the bigger problem is always just knowing the relationship of what is being portrayed, I would say. How they got there is really hard to learn exactly because everyone sees the world differently. Everyone wants to achieve different things. So it's probably more effective for you to find like your like I don't know, like if you just do a color study of this, it would be, I think you would be a little bit more confident. I feel like it would be. I don't know what you mean by color theory there. I feel like color theory tends to be a lot more theory, you know, like people talk about warmer colors, colder colors, blah 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 and stuff like that. I am never very good at that because I don't really get how it really relates to painting at the end of the day. Like I get that you can make shadow colors colder and more desaturated or bluer and stuff like that. But how much bluer? How much more desaturated? How much to do it? That part they don't really tell you. That part you can only get from painting and doing a color study. So I wouldn't use the word color theory. Like I wouldn't say back to color theory. I would say back to color studies. You must be painting. Because the theory doesn't really help you much in terms of like stylization. Everybody's style follows the same theory, but they have very different styles. So if you like these colors, you would just do a color study of this. Honestly, I'm saying this like based off of what I think is correct. I don't have the experience nor the skills to back it up at this point. Because let's say for example, if I was in your shoes right now, what I would probably try to do is try to do a color study of this, and then maybe try to paint the same character or a character with similar set of color, but with a slightly different pose. But maybe in the same lighting, maybe in a slightly different lighting, and so on and so forth. If I really want to learn it, That is if I really want to learn it. But this is just what I would do, but I don't know how effective it is because I've never done it before, because it's very tedious, and I am very bad at stuff that's very tedious. So I don't know how effective it is. So it's kind of irresponsible for me to be saying that you should do this, but it's what I would do. Average high side is too colorful and your pretentious face. Everything is lower side, afraid of colors. Now I'm back to the high side. Oh wow, the virus. That I feel like that is that's very relatable. I feel like a lot of my older stuff is very high saturation, especially the shadows. I think I was looking at a lot of those anime stuff and I just wasn't very in control. I looked at it, I thought I liked it, but maybe I liked it because of the proportions and not necessarily because of the colors. But I would paint in a similar way and I feel like it's way too saturated. Then I'll desaturate it, but because your eyes are adjusted to the saturated ones already, then it will look really gray all of a sudden. And now you feel like everything looks like shit. Because that's what DAO things look like. They look like shit. And then it's just like a huge back and forth. And then only now, like, I sort of understand a little bit more after like so much like going back and forth. It's like, yeah, you know, sometimes it's just your eyes are maybe bugged and so on and so forth. So you might need some time to reset. You really need to have a good set of references or a good color rough and stuff like that. Yes, sure. Like color theory can feel what you want it to mean. That's fine. All I'm saying is you need to make sure you're painting. As long as you're painting, that's fine. Like watching videos, watching people talk about it, including me, that's not really gonna help you too much, I would say. You just have to yeah, do a whole bunch. I lack a lot as well. I just have a commitment issue with my plans, because we do have the color journey thing, right? That we did actually manage. This is the journey that we went the furthest on. But even then, it's still very like we only did like 5 pieces. Like these were the color study pieces that I was doing, right? I was trying to take the colors here and the photo here to produce something. Because when you do a color study of this, you get an idea of the relationship. But then because this one has a different set of colors and under a different set of lighting condition, perhaps. Even if you're trying to mimic the same color of lighting and the same magnitude and intensity of lighting, the direction is slightly different, the shapes are slightly different. And then I gotta give it a try and see whether if it works out or not. Same thing here. You can maybe try something like this. But I feel like... yeah, no, I think it's just a mileage problem. I thought that this wasn't very effective because I still don't really know some of these colors. But I think it's just because we never did enough, right? We only did like 4, and before I got sidetracked into this. And then I got sidetracked into this. And then now I don't know where we are. Right, we got sidetracked into the website design. And then I got sidetracked into this piece here, right? Where it's about process now. All of a sudden it's about the process and it's about the ideas behind it. So it's just more of a commitment thing. I think the plan is sound. It's just not enough mileage. Yeah, talking about this like this with you guys, it's also quite clear. I think it makes a lot of sense why I never really progressed from the past till now. It's just more of a mileage thing, and also when I did paint and stuff in the past, the mindset was always wrong. It wasn't about trying to get a feel for the colors. It wasn't trying to understand what the relationship was or why it's giving me this feeling, right? Maybe it's because it's like very desaturated and all very high value, or maybe there's a large, huge contrast and so on and so forth. I didn't think of it like that, and so the retention was basically 0. And that means that if there is no reference to hold on to, I don't have anything in my head, because I never, like, the only thing you can have something in your head, I feel like, is you have your own ideas and you throw it against the canvas and you see if it works, right? And then you sort of form that formula and like this intuition in your head. But because I always just copy and paste it out colors off of other things, like even right now, this piece actually, it doesn't really stick with me. I don't really understand what's happening. I can do like a quick like sweep here and I see that, hey, you know, it's going through the triangle by going into the really saturated region and then coming back down. But if I didn't have this in front of me, I wouldn't be able to remember this relationship. Sorry, if I didn't have this in front of me and I didn't pick the color. My God. I don't know why is this so hard to... No, it's because I keep looking at the damn reference and I just picked it up by eye and I just put it down. So without the reference, I can't do anything. Because it never went through my brain. Well, I mean... Yeah. I can see many ways to deal with this. I can just... paint without the reference. I take a glance at the reference, paint without looking at it, and then try to compare and contrast. That's one way. I could just do what I do now and then just memorize the final painting set of relationship, which is this thing, which is also what the other thing was documenting, I believe. These things were documenting the color movement here. And then there's also other ways, I suppose, to just like do a lot of studies and have it be learned intuitively. That is also another way. Yeah, you see, like that's yet another aspect, right? The virus. I think like composition and all that, like art is so complex, man. Art is seriously very complex, and I can really see why like AI people they just give up right off the bat, because it's like you're always gonna... There are like 10 roadblocks in front of you at the same time, and even if you like accidentally by chance tear down one of them, there's still 9 other roadblocks, and then you only see the fact that you don't reach the destination, right? And it just feels bad all the time. Like this one here, I accidentally, I guess like if you're like what you're saying makes sense. I think that's cool, but it wasn't necessarily very intentional. It at least wasn't very conscious. Maybe it might have been intentional, given that I did put the character there, but it wasn't very consciously done. So anyways, I like it when it's like this, right? By the way, like my favorite way of viewing this is like when you're super zoomed out, because when you're super zoomed out, there is like a quality of detail for some reason. Whereas when I'm zoomed in, I feel like some of these edges are kind of... God, they are kind of jank, actually. I suppose I could clean it up more, but... Wow, that's kind of insane, the virus. I feel like you're describing this like as though it's like a, you know, 50 million piece of art, where $50 million piece of art, whereas I drew it intending it for it to be like $100 thing. But diving into colors, because I'm not really good at drawing aspect, I'm learning, and just ignore colors. But what do I think, right? I feel like art, for it to work, everything has to come together. So I feel like I've said the thing that you are thinking of right now, right? Maybe I'm the one who said that, actually. That if you're not good at, say, for example, sketching and stuff like that, maybe you should focus on sketching first and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, if your goal is to paint something like this, it needs everything, right? It needs the sketching, it needs the colors, it needs your rendering and your materials and everything. So you don't necessarily have to say that you're gonna get really, really good at this before you start on this, right? Right now, you seem to be worrying about colors, right? You seem to be getting stuck on colors. Then why don't you do a color study right now? Like, the best way forwards is always just to fix what you need now. And the reason is because you immediately use that thing, right? Like, let's say right now you're stuck on colors. You immediately do a color study. You immediately apply the color study that you have learned, that you have done. And I think that helps retention the best, rather than forcing yourself to do this. I just think that if you're like super beginner, like super stuck on everything, sketching is like the best way. I think they should focus on sketching, because it's a lot easier to get better, and it's very effective, right? You can start selling your ideas immediately. You don't have to wait to study like a lot of different material or a lot of lighting and different color scenarios before you become proficient enough to make something good. Sketching, you can get good really quick. And that gives you the confidence boost that you need, and that then therefore keeps you on the path of drawing, and that then helps you improve over time, because the only way to do it is to get better, is to draw a lot. And people quit very early because they don't think they're getting better fast enough, which is why sketching is best in the beginning. But for you, like, you have a very specific issue So I think dealing with the specific issue immediately is most prudent. Yeah, it's a matter of heart, I think. I like, how do I say this, right? As long as you're working, right? If you think of it like this, so you have drawing, so like just general sketching skills, right? That's what that is. And maybe there's like anatomy, maybe there's like colors, maybe there's like materials, and so on and so forth, right? And then you always have like comp and like whatnot. Like there's like infinite number of things you can keep getting better at. And all of these things are required to make something good. Good art. So what you could do is you can do these sequentially. Or you can do them one at a time, like one by one and then one by one again, like this, right? You can just keep doing a cycle like this. Or you can do it sequentially, and then when you get stuck at anatomy, you focus on this like a bunch. You can like then do this, bang, 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 and then now you're like, okay, now I'm good enough for this, so let me go back to this. But then all of a sudden, oh, I want to color, I don't know how to color, bang, 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 I'm good at color for this one set of colors. And then I don't know how to render hair, okay, let me do this. You know, you can do that too. At the end of the day, I don't think it matters too much as long as you're constantly putting the arrows out, if you know what I mean. As long as you're constantly doing something, you're still targeting the same things that you need at the end of the day. So, like, it's just a matter of what keeps you outputting the arrows, keeps you drawing on these things. And of course, like, you can argue that maybe things are more efficient if you focus on one thing first, right? Because you get like super good at this, and then you have a lot of like sort of adjacency, right? If you do one study today that is anatomy, like let's say we talk about anatomy, one anatomy, one back to back to back, you get better at anatomy faster than if you were to do anatomy, color, material, comp, and then do it like this, because you tend to forget certain things faster. You could argue that, but if you do this and you end up quitting, then there's no point. So there's also that. I feel like was and still kind of is that I don't want to start learning a lot of things. So that's why I was ignoring colors. It could be, right? It could be fine, right? Because you see me get like overwhelmed so often on stream. That's because I keep biting more things than I can chew. It's fair, but you have to recognize that if you don't study it, that means you're not going to be good at it. That means your expectations need to be set accordingly. So right now, if you're facing this color issue, and you're like, hey, I don't really know what color to choose, right? How did they know that they wanted the orange on the red tattoo? I don't know, but I recognize that this is not a priority right now. So let me just take that color from them. Let me just take this set of colors and let me just use it. And let me not worry about why for now. Let me just take it and make something good first, because that's not my priority. You can do this too. You just have to be clear about what you're doing, and what your focus is. I say it as though I have my shit together. I do not have my shit together, just to be clear. A lot of these things sound a lot clearer as I'm talking to you guys, because I'm bouncing ideas off of a different situation, right? So different people, different situation, different ideas. I bounce it off and I realize that, hey, yeah, this is probably how I should think about it as well. So for sure, I think like this is definitely something that I should also do. I'm actively trying to be more aware of the fact that, like, for example, for this piece here, I'm trying to be more aware of the fact that I am not going to be able to execute well on everything. I am also not focusing on everything and on this one piece. In the past, it's easy to think like, oh, I want to make rendering, anatomy, colors, everything good at the same time, right, for this one piece. Surely I can do it. I have so many references. They all look great. I'm going to be able to do it, just copying stuff, right? But it never really works out. So now I've learned that you just choose one thing. This one here specifically was just about the idea and the process behind it. So I like, the rendering turned out pretty well, but that wasn't really the focus, and so on and so forth. Until it's finished, maybe that's where my turn thought is coming to. Yeah, I would say. Art is definitely a reflection of yourself. Because in order to do art, like, art is about what you want, right? In essence, you're drawing what you want. You're not gonna draw stuff that you don't want to see. And what you want is very much an integral part of your personality. So I think a lot of these things will show through it. Just like how I feature creep a bunch of stuff. Just like how I have all these conflicts all the time. Like I want to do this thing, but I want to do that thing. I feel that is all very analogous to what I have in my life, like other aspects of my life too, I would say. The inability for me to experiment with colors in the past. That was very much a big thing everywhere else in my life. I don't do things unless I know what is going to happen. So I do not experiment. The experiment happens in my head and only in my head. I don't physically do it because I was in environments where I don't have this opportunity to try different things and fail because at least to me, it felt like the stakes were very high. I wasn't allowed to fail. So I have to hit it on the mark the first time. So it becomes really scary to try, and then it becomes impossible to experiment with colors. And then it took us, like, I don't know, a couple months to get here. I even have the piece here, like this one here, with the stupid towers that we didn't finish. This one here. Looking at it now, I feel a little bit more confident and comfortable looking at some of these things and maybe considering some of these pieces and rendering them out. But back then it was really scary because I had no idea where I was going. And it was just crippling fear. I was just stuck. Yes, yeah, I would say. Yeah, it doesn't really matter right now. Yeah, whatever keeps you drawing, I think is the most important thing. That is the singular most important thing. That being said, you need to have a healthy amount of criticism, I suppose, because like if you just do what's easy, right? Because whatever keeps you drawing tends to be what's more interesting. And in art, if you're not very good at it, it doesn't tend to be that interesting because it becomes very tedious. So for interest to be there, there is some level of proficiency, I would say. And then, but if you keep sticking to it, then you end up not experimenting with other stuff as well, not learning the other parts as well. So that might be a problem. But I guess I don't know where you're at. And even if I do, it might not necessarily be my place to make that decision for you anyways. I think you will feel like when it's time that you really, really need to sort this out right now. You will feel like that is the only thing you want. That is the thing that you want to work on the most. And then that is when you can just jump over, you know. No stress. You do like 2 pieces of color study, you're like, oh yeah, I don't really care anymore. I'm gonna go back to this guy, I'm gonna go back to do sketching, you know, it's like great. I think that's the best way to approach it. It's like kind of similar to when people draw something, they really want to get it to be done really well, and then they end up not drawing so well because they're like placing too much weight on the thing. Sometimes they really probably just don't care. And I was like, what? Don't care. Like even the PNG tuber today, I was having so much issue trying to figure out what the shapes I want. I just didn't care, and I just put down big shapes. And I realized that I just wanted bigger shapes, so I just started grouping some of the shapes and added some jagged edges. And then I think it's like, okay, yeah, whatever. It's good enough for now, right? At least we have something. It still doesn't look very good, but at least I don't feel like I'm getting stuck. Yeah, I think art inherently is just gonna be a pain in the ass process. I don't think there is an efficient, like a truly sort of streamlined, like 100% no loss. Feels very good, feels very smooth. Everything is very sequential and chains together kind of way. At least I don't know of it. I feel like it's... I feel like a part of this is probably your personality, but I feel like most, like humans, moods change, right? Priorities change, moods change, energy levels change. It's really hard, I would say. I don't think it's that possible. But yeah, you think so? I don't think I'm experimenting enough to really be able to do that. Like I think on stream maybe it looks like I have a lot of ideas and I'm trying a lot of things. But all of these things are just what comes to me naturally. Like someone who is like if someone wants to find like the most efficient way to do something, they have to not just do what's like natural, but also what is unnatural, just to see if it will work or not. I would think that's not what I do. Art is still inherently a very very painful process. So I'm still just trying to lighten the load constantly by taking easy way outs. Sometimes the easy way out is just a mentality change. Like for this piece, like if you told me like I have to paint all the edges and all these shapes and all that, all the textures and the reflection on the ground, I would have maybe not even done it in the first place. I had to do some mental gymnastics to just be like, yep, you know what? I am just going to convey an idea. Whatever the rendering, I can stop anytime, right? I could have stopped when it was like super rough. I could have stopped anytime. And that made it a lot easier. And then somehow we got here. So I guess, yeah, sure, why not? But yeah, a lot of trickery abound. This is interesting. I actually don't know if I should render via in this case. Because like you did mention like the virus that the low amount of detail, you know, kind of helps her just kind of fade a little bit. I do want a little bit, but I don't know what that means exactly. But regardless, anyways, show I would say is that what I look like? I guess it is just a personality thing. I don't really feel like I am doing that. That's the thing. Personally, I feel like I'm just doing what's most logical. I don't feel like I'm trying to min-max. It's all good, the virus. I'm not trying to necessarily go off of like the fact that you like it, but I'm going off of the reason why you like it, right? Because it fits the narrative that I'm trying to portray here, which is why I'm considering it. But yeah, like interesting. Where's my what the hell is my where's my paint overlay, broski? Where is it? One of these guys. Oh, this one. What is this other layer? Is this an empty layer? Jesus Christ, dude. Empty layer, get out of here. I also don't need this, get out of here. What is this? Yo, what is that? Oh, the sketch lines. Why do I have a separate set of lines? Okay, anyways. But yeah, anyways, art, am I right? Fun. Maybe one day I can have fun too. Yeah, I'm still quite far away from being properly proficient, I think. It's kind of insane if you think about it. Like, if art were a language, and then finishing the piece is like speaking out, like voicing out, saying out the sentence, then we're just always stuck at the grammar and the vocabulary. That's kind of insane, right? It's like a toddler trying to speak and convey their ideas. And that is like art most of the time until you get really, really, really good. Then you're just conveying ideas properly. But until that point, you're like just a freaking toddler. Like every one of us, you're just like goo goo gaga. And then like the other guy's like, what? Like, goo goo gaga? It's like, yeah, anyways, right, my story, huh? I first of all, thank you for your interest. And that's interesting because I don't really feel like that. Like all of the stuff that I did, I feel like this is what tends to happen, I guess. But yeah, anyways, I'm just doing what I think is most natural. I don't feel like I'm necessarily trying to but I guess that's how it is. I guess a personality. But like anyways. Yeah, I too am very interested in how my story is gonna unfold. I am very, very interested as well. Wow, I wonder how long this guy's I'm gonna take. But honestly, this one I can just consider this to be done. But I wanted to push the character rendering a bit more because I wanted to know how far we can take this. Oh, don't do that. Jesus, what is this empty layer? Oh my god, dude, how many empty layers do I have, dude? We took out like 3. Am I even painting? Oh, right. My world building, huh? I too would like to. Oh my god. I am. It is very. It is a big conflict, I think, in my heart. Always, all the time, as to like what is it that I want to do. Because it's easy to just. Because I say that I want to base it off of what I felt and experienced in real life, right? And to some extent, the easiest way to do that is to just tell this story exactly as is. But then it wouldn't be very fun, and it would be ideally not, personal and all that. So now then the problem is like if I stylize and do all the different things, like what am I supposed to do here, I don't really have any other ideas. Oh, actually we should have asked Piotego what it means to be original. Because I don't feel like I'm very original, but I also recognize the fact that, if I'm basing it off of my ideas and my own life, that is being original already, is it not? Because I'm not trying to copy off of an existing idea. I'm not trying to copy off of anything. It might end up being similar. It might end up being the same even. But fundamentally, it was because of stuff that I myself experienced. So I guess that is as original as you can get already. But it still doesn't really feel like it, right? Like it's to an outside observer, what I'm drawing here is basically just a copy of the reference that we've used. And it is, right? It is basically just a copy too. So I don't know. Um, Also, I don't know if this is worth thinking about even. Uh, yeah, maybe just a little bit. I think might be fine. Just a little bit of rendering. It does take away from the whole vibes of it, doesn't it? Oh, but then again, I did turn off this layer. I think I just have to decide on one thing, whether if I want there to be rendering to define the forms a little bit more, or I don't want, because the adjustments on top should be more than capable of bringing it into the correct zone, right? To bring it back into this vibe, where Ria herself is kind of just generally dark, and the definitions are not really, the contrast within her is not that high. As long as we use color that already exists in this zone here, we're gonna definitely not have an issue. So I think I will just give it a little bit more definition here. If I take a little bit of this, yeah. Where would the light be coming from, bro? From the sides, perhaps? The sides would be a little bit stronger. It's probably not even gonna be noticeable. Yeah, it's gone. Like, it's just gone, basically. I want to render because I want to practice, but at the same time, it doesn't have any effect. Um, I feel I'm getting glazed a lot. Especially the good adult part. Uh, what is a good adult, I wonder? Did I say adult? Adult? Yeah, what is a good adult? I wonder. I think adult is way too broad of a term. I think adults usage tends to be as a parental figure kind of context. But like if you're just talking about generally a person that's considered to be a grown up, then it's too broad. I think. What does it mean to be a good grown up, right? Like it's you can be like a good member of the society, you know, contributing to society, paying taxes, contributing by your work and stuff like that. Yeah, too much glaze. Glaz. It is kind of. I think I have a problem with not being able to take compliments well. I don't really know what to do with it. For the most part, if it's like a criticism, right? A criticism is a thing you can act on. You can do something about it. But like a compliment is just like, oh shit, I guess I'm supposed to feel good about this a little bit, and then like, but like if you feel too good about it, you get too complacent all of a sudden, then that's not a good thing. And it's like, oh shit, I don't know what to do with this. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with this. But mhm. Well, I mean, I'm glad that you find me, what's the word, respectable. I'm glad that yeah, that doesn't mean a lot to me. I'll try not to let it get to my head. Where we are. It's there's a lot of things that I could be doing better. Yeah, there's a lot of things that I should be doing better. Not sure what the clothing physics is supposed to be like, but again, it's barely noticeable. Looks kind of like shit though. Yeah, absolutely, man. Holy shit. I don't know what to do with compliments at all. Like, oh, I think, okay, so I think here's the gap, right? I think, like, so there is the positive reinforcement versus negative reinforcement learning. Where, whether if it's you're getting rewarded for doing something good versus you're getting punished for doing something bad. And most people are supposed to work better with the positive reinforcement. I'm not saying that I don't. I don't know which one I will work better as in. But I think my point of view is like positive reinforcement works because you do something good, people tell you that it's good, you feel good, definitely keep doing it, right? That's kind of the point. But I think from my point of view, I feel like it should have been done anyways. So regardless if people say anything about it, I have to do it like this, I think. So then it becomes this awkward moment of like, oh yeah, okay, yes, right, nice, thank you. And then it's like, oh, I guess. But I'm still gonna do the same thing though, you know, like I'm still gonna do whatever. Oh, I should just grab the brighter colors, right? I forgot. Yum yum yum. I think the other, oh man, this is going back to art, but like I feel like I'm so confused sometimes by the lighting situation because light is literally coming from everywhere. So rather than thinking of where light is coming from at this point, I guess it needs to be more nuanced and be like, where is light coming from and where is it the strongest? Where's the strongest light coming from, I guess, is probably the better way to think about it. If it's from the side, or if it's from the floor, or if it's from the back. I think it would be from the walls, because those are more direct, rather than the ground. But the ground is so shiny too, right? Like, it's anyways, but Compositionally, I cannot bring the values up anymore anyway, so it is what it is, I think. Spite? Oh, power of spite. Yeah. Spite, huh? Spite, indeed. I wouldn't say I'm above spite. I don't know. But I would, I haven't felt it in a while. But like, I think mine isn't necessarily because I've outgrown it, but maybe it's more of a, I just outright avoid situations where it might happen in the first place. I feel like it's just a lot of work. Interacting with people where well, situations like this could happen and stuff like that. And ideally, I would just not be in those situations in the first place. Oh wow, okay, yeah. Technically, if the flower is glowing, we do kind of need light, but I don't really like to. I don't want to give her like an orange aftershave or something. A 5 hour, 5 o'clock shave. If that's what it's called, I forgot what it's called. Hmm. Oh, is it Kirio? I think Kirio said something like I should talk to real artists. Actually, yeah, Kirio hasn't been here in a while, huh? I guess he really what's the word? He really does not agree with what I'm doing. Actually, honestly, um, not honestly, but I feel like he should at least be back for the question that he wanted to ask Piotegu, which is what is beauty? I wonder if he got that message because that was a great question. I thought nothing much would come off that question because stuff that tends to be more philosophical is kind of hard to end. Like it's very I mean like I guess that's the whole point, right? It's very subjective. People will have different answers. But at the same time it's also kind of very in a sense pointless. But I guess no, okay, forget what I'm saying. Right, you're doing it because you want someone else's ideas as a point of reference, so you can find your own direction. Okay, that's completely fair. I think that's complete. Anyways, long story short, I wish he got the reply that he was looking for. Not that he was looking for, but he got the reply that we got. Um, right, ignoring instead. I think yeah, I mean, like, I feel like maybe personally, I feel like I'm doing everything I can, right? Of course. But at the same time, I feel like from his point of view, especially because he's been telling me to talk to artists for quite a while, right? Up to that point, he's been saying that quite a few times, and I've also kind of maybe given him like a non-answer because I'm saying like, hey, yeah, I do agree, you know, I think that's very helpful. I think that would be helpful, but I never do anything with this. So as a result, I feel like from his point of view, it's just very frustrating to see me walking around circles, asking why things are not working, when the clear solution in his mind, like this would be the clear solution. I've never really given it a proper try, and I'm still complaining. You know, that would be really annoying, wouldn't it? Um, a guy constantly saying, "Hey, this doesn't work," but like the solution is right there, and he doesn't do it. That's how I see it. It's how I think he sees it. But yeah, I mean, you gotta be a real artist, man. Come on. This chat is real artists only. My God. Uh, I went back to VR chat to take a look at the art world again. But for some reason, I feel like people aren't really streaming as often now. I don't really see people streaming now. And I don't know if it's because the video players are not loading or people have like sort of deviated away from sharing their screens and stuff like that. I don't see a reason why they would not. So I'm gonna just chalk it up to my some kind of internet limit that I might have set in VR chat. I may or may not have set some settings, but this stock is not even aligned to the center of the flower. Dude. How the hell? Anyways, it is what it is. I feel like of course it is always what it is. That is what it is after all. What am I talking about? Where did my lines go? Oh, this has the flower line too. Where's my stock? Ah, here. So you and you. Let me just rotate this a little bit. Actually, maybe just translate it. Don't really want the... Oh, by overlaps here. Maybe I was trying to avoid the finger. No, maybe the finger should have been more forward. Everybody shift together. Oh man. Oh, that's not in the red layer. Okay, let's do it side by side separately then. It does work, right? It's too close. It looks like it's the pinky, but it's not the pinky. It's like the ring finger or something. Right, it's over here. So I think I mean, now that all those things are done, we're done talking about that. pngtuber, I think that would be like this for a while, I would say, until I have an idea of what I want to do with the hair. And also, when I feel like putting Faye in, she's gonna have to wait, unfortunately. We're currently focusing back on Ria because of the sort of breakthrough in the process, right? In the behind this, like the ideation. I don't know what to call it, but it's not the art process; it's the other process. But that's why I wanted to find a better word, but I don't have one. I will wrap this one up, whatever that means. I think this might be it, though. Honestly, actually, what happened to the light in her eyes? Oh, was that what I deleted? Maybe that's what I deleted. Maybe I deleted what? What? Okay, I must have deleted it then. Anyways, well, Faye... Actually, that's interesting. Let me think about this. Yeah, this is where things get really complicated, I would say. I don't like complications, because they're really tiring, but I have a lot of complications with these characters. Faye, right? Where does Faye stand in the whole grand scheme of things? I don't know. Faye is like supposed to be the four leads character, so in some essence, in some way, she is like the more waifu-esque character. But she's also not really a waifu, I don't think. Is she though? I don't know if you guys experience this, but like these characters, I can only ever have one character active in my head. And when they're not active, they don't really exist. Like I cannot feel anything. Yeah. So like the evaluation doesn't come through, and I just don't know what to do with them. Like my mind just doesn't process it. Actually, right now in this specific instance, in this like 12:36 a.m. instance, I don't feel anything right now. So that's probably also why I cannot do anything. It's kind of dead today. Faye getting hurt by my words? Is that possible? Yeah. I don't think she cares about anyone other than Ria. I don't think she gives a shit what I care about. Dang it. Do I need some of that glowy goodness? Hang on, what is this layer again? God damn it, dude. God damn it, another empty layer, dude. What? Did I make this just now? I thought I cleared all the empty layers already. What? I'm wondering if I should S up. I feel like I am very tempted to add glows, but it is already kind of glowy by itself. I'm a little scared of adding it because it would be very strong. Wait, hang on. I need to look at my other monitor. Where'd it go? Oh, yeah. The glow should be like at the brightest spots, wherever that is. I think it might be like along this line here, but it will cut her. It will cut through her figure here, which I don't like. Only because it breaks up my my singular shape here. Oh yeah, maybe more red is better. Do I like that? I don't really like that. I feel like in principle it should have some glow, but then the shape is too even, I suppose. Maybe if I do it a little bit more like that. If it's not taking away from the image, I think I'm just gonna keep it. Do I want more darker stuff along the edges? Let's see. Let's give it a try here. I think it's more moody, right? It feels more on theme. I'm just gonna make this really dark for now, so I can adjust the opacity a bit more comfortably. Somewhere here, perhaps. Just like full on is like this. Actually, this could be. Actually, they could all be good. I feel like this depends on the story now. It depends on what I want to portray now. Up until this point here, we've just been following the reference. Unsettling environment. They all kind of fit the description, anyways. It doesn't feel like darker is scarier per se. I need to stop using per se. Oh, God. Let me check the levels, actually. Is it levels? Yeah, it's levels. A lot of dark colors. I think that makes sense. Bunker. Yeah, psychedelic. But we don't get to do that this time since it's monochromatic. Oh, maybe it'd be cool if like the noise texture gets stronger as it goes out to the edges. And then it just starts getting like super, I don't know, is that Slenderman that makes your screen like that? I'm sure all the horror movies, games does similar things, but I don't have enough experience to know. What if it just starts getting like really crispy along the edges here? No, it's just too big. Wait, no, it's because of me, isn't it? Didn't I change the particle size? Yeah, I definitely touched the particle size. It's way too big. Reset all to default. Yeah. Is it doing anything? Oh, it's just way too sparse. Oh yeah, no, for sure. I get what you're saying, I think. The thing is we can always just take it out, I guess. But yeah, even then, right, like it's still very scary. I do chicken out too. I don't know if it's providing any value, right? Really? That's how much I added? Dang, it didn't feel like I added a lot, but it's a lot. Huh. I mean, this adds to the message, no? Because like the noise seems to sort of suggest some kind of dissociation from reality, some kind of break and some kind of danger. But then around her is always clean. Around her, things are a lot simpler and a lot more beautiful. Like the colors are a lot more vibrant and a lot more alive. Even if her herself is not. I think that's interesting. Maybe I'll keep it. Maybe I'll keep it, but maybe I'll turn this on off. Maybe not have both at the same time. Yeah, the original already is kind of dark. Anyways. Oh, what the heck? Oh, I shouldn't have done it the way I did it, I just realized. I should have made like an even texture across the entire thing and then just use a clipping mask. So now I cannot really add things and remove things comfortably. And it's not that even either. How about just dupe this then? If I just dupe this, delete mask, bump this the hell out. Oh, but like it's... Oh, but what about multiply? Yeah, this works. Right. Right. That's why like the process behind is so important now. I realize, because if let's say I give every one of those effects a meaning, right? Like what does chromatic aberration means, what does noise mean, and so on and so forth. Then it no longer becomes like a creep thing where like a feature creep thing where I just keep adding more and more. I will only add it if I absolutely need it to portray the idea. So I guess in this case the noise is the unsettlingness, right? It's only on the environment, the noise. Is none on her. Even though her herself is very rough on the edges, right? The lines that we use are kind of broken up. They're not very well refined. Is this a sketch that I kept? I think so, right? And then the rendering is barely done and its big strokes is rough. And then as we go away from her, it gets even noisier, even crazier. We can actually go pretty crazy with this if we want. I can shift this a bit too, no? Come on, it's giving me a layer there, but... Yeah, it makes it less crisp. I don't want it. I want more crisp. Actually, I can make this more crispy, no? Crispy? That doesn't work. It's already crispy enough. Okay. So in this case, if that's the unsettlingness, then I can just put as much as I want, as long as it's not on her. And it wouldn't be ruining anything. The focal remains the decently in control. I still have to fix the flower. As it is not great because of the sketches. I'm not sure what to do with it just yet, but before that, I should really do this after. So why is there a layer? There's a folder here with nothing in it, bro. What? Did I move everything out by accident? How is that possible? How is that even possible? Then how did the layer work before? What? Ruler. I want to see if there's anything I can do with this. Being on top here. What if I sharpen this like a bunch? Oh, what happened here? Oh, wow. Oh my god, it hurts my eyes. It actually hurts my eyes. What the fuck am I looking at? Yeah, let's do the camera see as noise like a detail like information EV, right? Oh, right. Yeah, no external stimuli, and then like the electrical signals themselves become the only thing. And as a result, it becomes a... Why does it do it like this, though? Huh. Right, you can... Well, you see like the mood changes so much all of a sudden. This feels like... This feels more angelic, actually, rather than like being more creepy. That's because it's brighter values. Same setup, brighter value. This is like a nuke going off in the back. This is the angelic nuke, I guess. Let's go with the both the qualities. Wow, oh wow, okay. Oh wow, okay. This is very interesting. You see like the black line around the flower too? Huh. Like these crispy edges. Wow. Oh wow, okay. So I would like to keep some of these somehow. Like there's some weird quality here. Like when you zoom in, it changes kind of quality. Like one of those Twitter 4K images, when it loads, it shows you something else. And now she's gone. Nope, she's back. What? Yeah, this is great. What the fuck is happening, dude? What is happening, man? Oh, wow. You can just barely see the eye. You can just barely see it. This is a sense. See, this is my favorite part of the process. Where you don't do anything but click buttons. Oh, wow, this is great. Oh, this is so much more comfortable. Actually, what does the original look like again? This is the original, right? Yeah, this is so much more comfortable to look at. Oh my god. Is this like a divide by zero situation? Because it's dividing by itself. It just goes to white. Oh, this got the inversion on the side. But anyways, what was the one I liked? I think it was it overlay? Yeah, overlay is doing some weird stuff, man. But how do I use this though? It clearly is bumping the colors up to some insane extent. Wait, what? No, shouldn't I just use this? But then I would just bring the corners down again? Wouldn't that just be the way to do it? No, it wouldn't. Why not? But the color themselves are a little bit weird. I guess it's because the sharpening... it's got some green in it. I can't accept green though, isn't it? So it needs to be a mode where only the textures go through. Anyways, I imagine this will be more tweaking tomorrow. What if I only keep the transitional areas? Not the darker and not the brightest. Only the transitions. Again, it's that problem where I just like everything. So it's like, what? What am I supposed to make my decision based off of here then? Look at how crispy it is. I really like this crispiness. And it's kind of funny too, right? Because like the whole AI like generating image thing is that they take noise and then they make it less noisy. But we're going the opposite route. We're trying to make it more noisy. At least in selected areas. Maybe this is the anti-AI thing in the future. How the artists become more noisy and then the AI become less noisy. Because inherently it's trying to go against the AI route. Now, if this, I can just have a little bit, that would be nice. Not to this extent, just a little bit. Like, just the edges getting fried or something. It got darker again, though. So it's getting darker and darker on the edges here. The original was only this. Oh, wait, but... Oh, because it's on hard mix. So it actually is affected by the stuff on it. So I could just turn it off then. Nah, I'm never gonna remember how to do this again. I'm 100% sure. Too many back and forth. Oh, look at the yellow. Oh. What would I do if such drinking? Oh, 100%. I will welcome her with open arms, dude. Like, my math is very simple. Like, this is the only way that I managed to get this far, keep myself alive, is that I need a source of truth, right? In life, everything is not constant and keeps changing. So she is the constant. It doesn't matter if she changed, because she is the definition, right? It's like if someone tells you that the 1 kilogram weight that defines the SI unit increased by 100 grams, it doesn't matter. It is the definition of a kilogram, right? So that just means that everything's kilogram number just gets a little bit smaller because the kilogram got a little bit heavier, relatively speaking. So to me, it makes no difference. Like, if she comes at me with a knife, I would still be opening my arms. I don't care. But in exchange, right? In exchange for this madness, you get stability, because it means that the math is a lot simpler for me to do in my head. I don't have to worry about if I want something or not. It's just whether if it makes sense to do it for this goal I have in life. If it needs to be done, then it needs to be done. Then I'm just gonna do it. Which is why, like, going back to the compliment thing, is why I don't really know what to do with it, because it doesn't make a difference. I have to, if I think I have to do it, I'm just gonna do it. Although, to be fair, I guess there's a bit of wiggle room where I might realistically convince myself that I don't need it or something when I actually do. And then getting some good feedback might actually get me on the right path, of course. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we just use this one layer here. I think it's probably enough. We don't have that nonsense in the middle here. But so... Oh, dang, dude. Do you guys see this pattern? I think it might be something to do with the resolution. They look like tiny worms or something. Like, it's like curved. If you zoom in, though, it's gone, because at its core is still just like a noise sort of randomized pixel kind of thing. Oh, I guess it's not that random, though. You get like these lines in there. And then we keep her simple, we keep her faded, and then it's just about the stupid flower. Which I'll probably do tomorrow, I think. This one I don't need, right? Why do I even have that? That's my... Oh, it's too big. It's too big. I think the plan is to just ignore that, and then... Let's probably need more reds. Soft light? Oh. What if I lock? But then it's no different from just drawing a normal color layer. No need for it to be a soft light. Yeah. Hello, Yugami. Today will probably take a while as I get myself... I need to get myself reinterested in the project. Currently, the flame has already died. Partly because I couldn't render it properly. As a result, I feel like I am wasting my time a little bit. So... It's gonna be like this for a while. It doesn't look very good. But it's something, at least. It needs more movement too, right? So I definitely have to go back and improve on it. This flower is not gonna be easy like this. I need an idea of what I want to get out of it first. It could also just be a solid block of color. And it might, you know what, like, we can freaking come up with all sorts of nonsense. I can say that it has no rendering because it's representing purity. So there's nothing there. It's pure. It's just a singular color. But, my god. I see. Start doing a project. Stomach hurting. I hope you get well soon, Yagami. Stomach hurting. I was gonna say, like, I hate the kind of ailments where you suffer but you don't really get anything out of it. But do you really get anything out of anything? Right? Because stuff like food poisoning, for example. You get it. You recover, it suffer a lot. You recover from it. It doesn't make you more immune to food poisoning, I feel like, right? At least, like, if you get the flu or something, you are immune to that strain of virus. Kind of. You're a little bit stronger against it, at least. But, I mean, but for the most part, this is kind of done, I guess. Did we even... Where did my other effects go? Did I turn it off? I did. I was gonna say, after all that, and I can't even see it. It looks more grimy. Yeah, they're like, yeah, exactly. So everything sucks, man. Seriously, it sucks. God. Everything, but it doesn't feel like anything is feeling full of gas. Yeah. I would say, like, yeah, my stomach problems it's a bit better, quite a bit better than before already, I would say. Actually, for a period of time, it was gone. Now it's just kind of back. But this time around, it's not as bad as when it was happening last year already. So, on the up and up, I guess. It's just that my mouth tasting salt constantly is a bit of a concern, right? But I'm ruling a lot of things out already. At this point, it might just be stress related. I'm not 100% sure yet. It's either more likely post-nasal drip, some kind of sinus infection that I don't even feel, or I have like some neurological problem at this point with taste. But I think it should be fine. It's kind of going away sometimes. It kind of comes back sometimes. So, like right now, I taste a little bit of salt in my mouth, but it's not as bad. I did some chewing gum today, and it kind of helped actually. Maybe it's chewing gum. Maybe I should chew more gum. What color is this? Oh, it's yellow. It looks green. Dang, look at my crispy. Looks like pixel art over here. Yeah, it looks like pixel art. Huh. A plus, having diarrhea. Don't you just lose a bunch of water though? But I guess you're not fully digesting all the stuff either. Yeah, sinus issue. Sinus tech tips. Anyways, I guess I'm kind of done for today. Yeah, my PNG tuber, I'm not satisfied with it at all. It is what it is, I guess. Yeah. I guess Faye at least has to go in before we do any redrawing of anything. Or anything related to other extra movements. This piece here is done. So PNG tuber is gonna wait for... Right, I was trying to give a conclusion. So PNG tuber is waiting for a new wave of inspiration and motivation. This piece is pretty much done. I don't know if I can do anything about the flower. If I find a good effect I like. If not, then I'm just gonna leave it. Right, it is what it is. We've proven the process behind and how powerful it could be once you have an idea of why things are being drawn, right? Because decisions can be made in a more objective way, and I can be more in control by saying that textures are here because of XYZ reasons. Chromatic aberration, blah blah blah, which we didn't add this time. But oh, you know what? The flower... Oh, wait. I'm feature creeping this right now. Hang on. My original idea was that the flower might... Not original idea, but one of the ideas I had was maybe the flower could be kind of glitchy. So maybe the flower gets chromatic aberration. How would that work though? Because it doesn't really work very well when you only have one thing with chromatic aberration. Because it doesn't interact with the background very well. That's what I've noticed. Let me try it right now. But yeah, anyways, other than that, once this piece is done... Wait a second. Did I get this wrong? Oh, I got it backwards. So these two are lightened. These two are multiplied. I will move on to the next piece. Wow, this looks so nice after all the... What? After all of the reds. Oh my god. Anyways, I was gonna draw... Oh, I was wondering why it was moving. Anyways, discard that. Change. It's the wrong canvas. It's this one. I want to do the moon one. So we do the moon one, which basically is just literally black and white, other than some outlines that would be very, very saturated, right? So basically, like the piece that we were just looking at for show, there were some really high saturation lines there. I wanted to do something similar, where the canvas is black and white, but we have these highlighted lines. Maybe, like, Ria will be floating in the middle of space. And then maybe we can put, like, a rabbit on the moon or something. We'll be drawing, like, the back view of Ria, because she'll be looking at the moon. The composition will probably stretch this canvas a lot longer, so that Ria can have a lot of black empty space around her. She'll just be a speck of dust in the entire void. And then we have the moon in the back, we have the spaceship in the front. And there is no specific reason for drawing this piece other than I think it will look really aesthetic. So if we were to fit it into one of our journeys, the things that we're trying to do, it would be a rendering one, because there's not much colors to speak of, there's not much process and ideas and storytelling to speak of. So it mostly will be a rendering thing of how we deal with the moon surface. And maybe the empty void. Maybe the empty void will be pretty empty, but yeah, and then the spaceship itself. So more of a rendering exercise then. Okay then, fair. That's pretty good. But what was I doing here? Shit, I forgot. Alright, chromatic aberration. That means this needs multiplied too. But that's the plan. But it will introduce green though. Is that okay? I mean, it has to. If you want chromatic aberration, it's going to do that. Am I missing a layer? Why doesn't this do anything? What? Is it because there's no blue? Is this a map thing? Wait, hang on. No, there's nothing on this layer, dude. What? What? How, dude? Where'd it go? Oh, it's because it's lightened or what? Like, hang on. Huh. Oh, shit. Don't do that. Alright, so it's a map thing, with the way that things are set up. So there's just no blue on this canvas or something? Okay, sure. Oh yeah, it's kind of interesting. It's kind of trippy. It's kind of trippy, but only if you zoom in enough to see it. The stream itself is horror. The streamer is horror because he keeps adding more stuff when he cannot finish previous stuff. And we're not just talking about like the usual art project creep. We're talking about literally making websites and tools and writing journals and all that. And then the freaking software itself is messing up my layers. Dang. She looks good though. Priya looks good. I wanted to do more glitches. So I'm gonna duplicate. I'm gonna do this. And then the glitch is in what direction though? It would be interesting if the glitch is not actually in the direction of the horizon, but rather with the direction of the canvas. Which means we just do it normally like this. Because then it would, you know, it basically means that this flower is not of this world, which is kind of what I want to convey. The idea is that these pieces of memories that we're collecting and stuff like that, they're not exactly part of this world. Sorry, I just said that. So I was a bit confused. This is really easy to overdo, but if you don't do enough, it's really hard to tell as well. Because it's so tiny too, oh my god. Oh, I guess the stock should also get some treatment. Actually, why wouldn't the stock be also orange, now that I think about it? Shouldn't the entire thing be orange? But yeah, anyways, I'll probably deal with that tomorrow. Right, so chromatic aberration, I think we reserve for items that are not meant to be part of this world. VR is part of the world is part of the world, we are part of the world, maybe. Maybe not entirely. So we have that separation. Noise is unsettling, and then texture is just material texture. The glitch and the chromatic aberration specifically for stuff that's outside. What other effects are there? I'm not really sure. I think that's kind of most of it, no? Everything else would just be materials, right? Stuff like specular stuff, reflective stuff, translucent stuff or transparent stuff like glass and stuff. Those are all materials. Oh, what about the graphic design elements? What about stuff like highlights and outlines? What about stuff like halftones, right? I don't think halftones have a position, have a place in this series. Yeah, it's not very readable, is it? I hope at least people can tell it's a flower. If I add one piece of leaf, I think maybe people can tell. But then I don't want to introduce green, which I kind of... No, it's not... Well, it's kind of green, but... No, we just make the entire thing orange anyways, right? So hopefully, like, the shape of the leaf will be enough. This is a little bit more torn up, I have to admit. especially this part here. Hmm. Yeah, flower and then the shadow. I need to just tidy it up a bit. But maybe some of the edges here, they're like double lines here, which makes it look a little bit fuzzy. So I would go in and clean that up. But otherwise, we're pretty much done for this. Okay. Post effects we have yeah, noise, chromatic aberration, tone curve adjustments, overall overlay adjustments. I think none of those are applicable because we already kind of did some of that. Okay then. I think that's it then. That's it for today then. Yeah, it does look better in the navigator. I don't know why. It looks better when it's zoomed out. Is this everything turned on? Yeah, it is. Okay. Oh yeah. Makes sense. I would say that makes a lot of sense. It doesn't belong in this world. I think this world is more of just a mind space, like a mind, like not a physical space, right? But a space in the head. And Ria's always maybe from here, maybe it's stuck here, maybe she is stuck here. Maybe this is my mind space. It would make sense because it is trying to reflect what I feel. So she's always living in this space, right, providing comfort. But because she's also kind of stuck here, it's kind of sad. Uh, right. But then places, things that don't exist, huh? The flower is meant to represent the memories. It would technically exist in this world, because if it's my mind space, then it would exist. Anyways, I don't have a clear answer for this yet. I also wonder if I should review my other character or not. Probably not for a while, I would say. Oh, wouldn't it be interesting if we write a story and then the character has always been there from the beginning, but no one knows that it's actually this character until like at some point it's reviewed. Oh, that she is a ghost all along and no one else can see her. It's like, oh, wow. Maybe like 10 years ago that would have been a cool idea. I feel like there's a lot of things, a lot of movies now that executed on that. Whereas like, oh, the protagonist is actually dead or something. Maybe even like way older than that, like some of the much older movies in the 70s or 80s. I feel like at that. Yeah, I am dropping the ball quite a bit. There's still a lot of things that I should be doing, but I haven't done yet. We need to catalog the music properly. And there are a few more ideas that I wanted to catalog for the key activations, the inspirations and the ideas, but like I forgot to. I didn't actually do it in the moment, and right now it's kind of lost already. But I'm sure it'll be back. Anyways, it was lost like 10 bajillion times, and it already came back. But anyways, thank you guys for coming. Thank you guys for coming to this horror stream. I will see you guys. Today is what? See you guys. Yeah, see you guys tomorrow. We'll quickly wrap this up. And unless I'm really feeling like doing this, we will not be doing this. And then I'll go move on and do the next piece. Yes, thank you very much. I'm gonna keep the lines in because it's not technically complete here, but otherwise, yeah. Anyways, thanks for coming. Have a good night, guys. Goodbye.